Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Jai Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radha. Jai Jagannath Jai Jagannath. Jai Baladeva Jai Subhadra. Jai Lakshmi Narasimha Jai Jai Lakshmi Narasimha. Lakshmi Narasimha Jai Jai Lakshmi Narasimha. Jaya Gauranita 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 Jaya Gauranita Nitya Gaura Haribol 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 Jaya 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 Prabhupada 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 Prabhupada. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Bhutati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Saгаjatam Sahagana Raghunathan Tam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Kapadan Sahagana Lalita Shishaka Nitamsha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namosate Taptakanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusate Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Ansari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So fourth chapter, which verse? After 20 days we are meeting.
28th verse.
Fourth chapter, 28th verse. So various types of yajna has been described. So we saw in a little recap, the 25th, in the 24th verse, Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavi, Brahmagnam, Brahmanahutam, Brahmeva tena gantavyam, Brahma karma samadhi. Arpanam, then Havi, Agni, Brahmana, the Brahmana, Hutam, Brahmana Hutam you can say. The last is the goal. All should be spiritual. Then you can say the whole activity is spiritual. Arpada means what you are offering. Brahmana Arpan, Brahma. Here Brahma refers to Brahma Havi. Havi means the process. Havi. You can say Havi, the butter. See, there is one thing, there is a ladle, okay? And there is butter. Arpanam is the process. Havi is what you're giving. Understood? When you have even the Brahmana does what he does, Swaha. First he purifies his ladle. You have seen that? First he purifies his ladle. Then he will take the ghee and purify and offer. So Havi refers to the ghee. So Havi refers to what you are giving. Arpanam refers to the process. Then Agni, where you are giving. Now all of you contributed for Rath Yatra. ठीक है. Where you gave? To the Rath Yatra, for the Rath Yatra. How? Process, GPay, whatever is process. What you gave? Your karma phala, whatever you had, karma phala. To whom you gave? There's a person who has taken, na? He should also be spiritual. He cannot just put it in his pocket and just wave off. No, he should give it in the right way. He should put it in the, he should be also completely spiritual. Hutam, the person who is giving also should be spiritual. Then that Gantavyam, it reaches to the absolute. So how many involved here? First of all, there are three people involved. One who is giving, one who is taking, one to whom is reaching. There is Lord. Three. Then ladder is involved, process. Then what you are giving, Agni, in Agni what you are putting, that is involved. And that Agni is involved. So like that, 6. Okay. If nicely fit into your this consciousness, Arpanam is the process, Havi is the ghee. Okay. Agni is the place where you're giving. There is a person who takes, does all this. There is a person who gets it done. And then ultimately everything becomes spiritual. It is Lord. The whole process becomes spiritual. Actually, Agni refers to Lord only. When we say karma, Brahmana karmana hutam, Brahma karmana hutam, that means that Brahma karma. Sorry, Brahma karma. That means the whole process becomes spiritual. Brahma karma samadhina. So we saw different ways how the brahmacharis, what they do. Mute your phone, somebody's phone is on. We saw how the brahmacharis, we saw various things. How to worship the demigods by offering different sacrifices. Some worship the Supreme Brahman. Pensis verse we saw some people keep your videos on. Gautam, I think you're also the student in this. Keep your video on. Shilpa, keep your video on. Preeti, keep your video on. Yeah, I should know that you're studying. But this is very important section. You have to write and you have to study. Then only you can get the certificate. So now, an unadulterated brahmachari, what he does, he gives a whole hearing process in the senses. What is that fire now? Mind control. Mind control is what? Guru Kripa or Guru's lotus feet. The mind is given to the Guru. So he will give the senses itself to the Guru. Use my senses in Krishna's service. What about brahmachari, regulated grasta? He will, for him, the fire is what? Fire is the senses. So what he will put in that senses? Sense objects. Fire can change, huh? Agni can change. Now the Agni is the senses. So what he does? He sacrifices his sense objects in that senses. Like now you have sacrificed your sense objects in your ears, hearing process. You could have heard something like in TV programs or some talks, but you have sacrificed it. Sacrifice means giving. Understand it very nicely. Sacrifice means arpanam, giving. Now you are giving time here to study. That means you have sacrificed the sense object in particular senses. Okay. Now, 28th verse, right? Now some recap we did. Dravya yagyas tapo yagya, yoga yagyas tatha pare, swadhyaya jnana yagyascha, yatah samshita vrataha. Dravya yagyas tapo yagya, yoga yagyas tatha pare, swadhyaya jnana yagyascha, yatah samshita vrataha. I think I should see the face, Gautam, not the roof. I should see that you're studying. Keep your videos on properly. Your notebooks and all should be there. Keep it steady because I want everybody's lip movements when I am reading. Dravya tapo yajna. Dravya tapo yajna. Yoga tatha pare. Yoga tatha pare. Swadhyaya jnana yajnascha. Swadhyaya jnana yajnascha. Yatah samshita vrataha. Yatah samshita vrataha. So now some may offer their money, possessions. That is known as dravya. Now, they also follow some strict rules. They also offer some possessions. Some may tapahyakyah. They are offering their austerities. Yoga yajna. Some people perform ashtanga yoga. And then some people, what they do, swadhyaya. They study Vedas. Now see how they are utilizing their time. They are utilizing their time. Some people, they sacrifice their possessions. They feel satisfied. Oh, I have given this much dhan. Some people, they give their austerities. Some people, they perform Ashtanga Yoga. Some people study the Vedas. Why they are doing all these things? Yataha, samshitaha vrataha. They have taken this all vratahas. Why? So that they can progress. To get enlightened persons. Or you can say to get enlightenment. They perform, they do all this. Some are satisfied just by giving some dhan. Don't expect them to do more. For them, that is sacrifice. Some person do lot of tapasya, austerities. Okay. Saurabh Prabhu, please read.
Dravya yajnas tapo yajna yoga yajnas tatha pare swadhyaya yajnana yatah
Swadhyaya yajnana yagyascha. Swadhyaya, sorry, Swadhyaya jnana. Yajnana gar. Swadhyaya jnana yagyascha.
Swadhyaya jnana yajnascha Swadhyaya jnana yajnascha yatah sanchita vrataha. Having accepted strict vows, some become enlightened by sacrificing their possessions, and others by performing severe austerities, by practicing the yoga of eightfold mysticism, or by studying the Vedas to advance in transcendental knowledge. These sacrifices may be fitted into various divisions. There are persons who are sacrificing their possessions in the form of various kinds of charities. In India, in rich mercantile community or princely orders, open various kinds of charitable institutions like Dharmashala, Annakshetra, Atitishala, Anathalaya, and Vidyapitha. In other countries too, there are many hospitals, old age homes, and similar charitable foundations meant for distributing food, education, and medical treatment free to the poor. All these charitable activities are called Dravya, Dravyamaya, Dravyamaya Yajna.
Dravyamaya.
Dravyamaya Yajna. There are others who, for higher elevation in life or for promotion to higher planets within the universe, voluntarily accept many kinds of austerities such as Chandrayana and Chaturmasya. These processes entail severe vows for conducting life under certain rigid rules. For example, under the Chaturmasya vow, the candidate does not shave for 4 months during the year, July to October. He does not eat certain foods, does not eat twice in a day, or does not leave home. Such sacrifice of the comforts of life is called Tapomaya Yajna. There are still others who engage themselves in different kinds of mystic yogas, like the Patanjali system for merging into the existence of the Absolute, or Hatha Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga for particular perfections. And some travel to all the sanctified places of pilgrimage. All these practices are called Yoga Yajna, sacrifice for a certain type of perfection in the material world. There are others who engage themselves in the studies of different Vedic literatures, specifically the Upanishads and Vedanta Sutras or Sankhya philosophy. All these are called Swadhyaya Yajna or engagement in the sacrifice of studies. All these yogis are faithfully engaged in different types of sacrifice and are seeking a higher status of life. Krishna consciousness, however, is different from these because it is direct service of the Supreme Lord. Krishna consciousness that cannot be attained by any one of the above mentioned types of sacrifice, but can be attained only by the mercy of the Lord and his bona fide devotees. Therefore, Krishna consciousness is transcendental.
Okay. Apane juvati pranam, prane panam tatha pare, pranapanagati rutva, pranayama parayanaham, apare niyatahara, pranan praneshu juvati. Apane juvati pranam, apane juvati pranam, prane panam tatha pare, pranapanagati rutva, pranayama parayanaha, apare niyatahara, pranan praneshu juvati. Step by step. Apane juvati pranam. Ashtanga yoga has come now. Apane juvati pranam. You have pranavayu, you have apanavayu. You have 5 vayus actually. In that, pranavayu has a tendency to go up. Apana downwards. Now, what goes downwards? Apani, in the air which acts downwards. Juvati pranam. You are offering the air which is going outward. Bahar. That you are offering to the air which is going downward. Prani apanam. In the air going outward, you are giving the air which is going downward. So pranayam is not just pupa. Pranayam is exactly reversing the direction of your air. What goes upward, you put it in the apana. What goes outward, you are putting it in the apana, you are putting in the prana, prana, you are putting in the apana. You are reversing the direction of the air. Tatha apare prana apana gati krudva. You are checking both the airs, which goes outwards, which goes downwards. Now you don't ask questions in this because it is a practice. It cannot be just explained. You should understand only here the whole mood of Ashtanga Yoga is to divert the air so that the air which goes upward, which goes downwards, you're checking the movement so that you are steady in one place. Your activities are dependent on your air movement because you are reversing the air movement. You are able to sit in one place and do the pranayama. You breathe in. Then what you're doing? You are holding. Then only you remove. First you're holding. There you're checking the movements. And that is known as kumbhaka. Because I have now taken my prasad. So I cannot now show you. Once you take this, inhale from left. You hold it in your chest. You stop your movements at all. Breathing movement is completely stopped. The more time, the more duration of life is increased. Just because Your duration of life is not dependent on how many days you are going to be there, how many breaths you have done. Everybody has been given fixed number of breath. Now you can elongate that breath or you can contract that breath. और ये तुम्हारे मेरे हॉरोस्कोप में तो लिखा था मैं तो 80 साल तक, अरे क्या है मैं तो चली गई अभी. Because you breathed very fast. You took your anxiety very fast. According to Brahma calculation, you should have done this much. But I took so much of anxiety, I completed my breath fast. That is why it is said, don't haste while you talk. Don't haste while you are doing any work. That time, if you take anxiety and do the work, you breathe fast. Where Ashtanga Yoga helps you to keep your breath stiff and elongate the breathing. One breath, another breath, there is a nice gap. That doesn't mean that whole day you're going to do this. You're going to do it for some time. And that is how you're going to balance your mind. Automatically, when you do all your activities, you will be anxiety free. Be anxiety free. How does Hare Krishna Maha Mantra help you? It helps you the most. Because when you are chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, that's why it is chanted loudly. Not Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is chanted loudly. Loudly means not very loudly. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna. Now, because I have taken food, I will not be stopping. So, at least 2 in one breath can be done if you do it systematically with concentration. When more concentration, you can make even 3 in one breath. Prabhupada says that itself is a pranayama. That itself is your pranayama. So in this way, pranapanam tathapani. Pranapana gati rudhva. You are checking the movements. Rudhva. And then pranayama parayana. Pranayama parayana. The trance induced by stopping the breath. The moment you stop the breath, everything is done closed eyes. You don't allow your eyes, you're not opening the eyes. Either you'll see in the nostrils, that's for the dhyana actually, but in the pranayam, you have to close the eyes. And at that time, you feel one silence, a small silence. Go in that silence. In that silence, if you're able to see Krishna, understand, if you're able to see Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, understand you have come to the stage of dhyana. Because pranayam, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. Then, apare niyatahara. Control your food. Niyatahara. Now go on eating. Eating should be maximum thrice, not more than that. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. If at all you're hungry, some fruits. But Anna Prasadam, 3 times. And that too in a small quantity. Not that I go on eating. No. Breakfast should be like a breakfast. And suppose somebody is having 2 times, then it should be 11 and 6 o'clock. In between, you can have some chas or something. Apare niyatahara. Niyatahara. Pranan pranesh chuvati. In this way, outgoing air, prana, you are again giving it in the outgoing air. Now just see, in this pranayama also a lot of technique is there. First outgoing in the incoming in the outgoing. then outgoing in the outgoing only. So these are all various techniques of pranayama. Okay. Jai Shri Mataji, read.
Hare Krishna. Apane juhyadi pranam, pranapanam tata pare, pranopanagati ruddhva, pranayama parayanaha, pranayama parayanaha. Still others who are inclined to the process of breath, restrained to remain in trance, practice by offering the movement of the outgoing breath into the incoming and the incoming breath into the outgoing, and thus at last remain in trance, stopping all breathing. Others
This 1 minute, 1 minute. The incoming, outgoing, na, you don't try out. It is already in our this. When you start doing it, automatically it happens. You don't try to see what is incoming, what is outgoing. It happens automatically. The flow happens.
Others, curtailing the eating process, offer the outgoing breath into itself as a sacrifice. Purport. This system of yoga for controlling the breathing process is called pranayama, and in the beginning it is practiced in the hatha yoga system through different sitting postures. All of these processes are recommended for controlling the sense and for advancement in spiritual realization. The practice involves controlling the airs within the body so as to reverse the directions of their passage. The apana air goes downward and the prana air goes up. The pranayama yogi practices breathing the opposite way until the current and neutralized into uraga equilibrium. Offering the exhaled breath into the inhaled breath is called Rejaka. When both air currents are completely stopped, one is said to be Kumbhaka Yoga. By practice of Kumbhaka Yoga, one can increase the duration of life perfection in spiritual realization. The intelligent yogi is interested in attaining perfection in one life without waiting for the next. For by practicing Kumbhaka Yoga, the yogis increases the duration of life by many, many years. A Krishna conscious person, however, being always situated in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, automatically becomes the controller of the senses. His senses being always engaged in the service of Krishna have
This is only for advanced Krishna conscious devotee, not just. It is transcendental loving service, completely engaged, 24 hours in Krishna consciousness.
have
Then
no chance of becoming otherwise engaged. So at the end of life, he is naturally transferred to the transcendental plane of Lord Krishna. Consequently, he makes no attempt to increase his longevity. He is at once raised to the platform of liberation as started in Bhagavad Gita 14:26.
Why is he not interested in his long life? Because he knows he is not going to die. Any on the next life also is going to do the same thing. So it doesn't matter whether this body is there or another body is there. Okay.
For one who engages in unallowed devotional service to the Lord transcends the modes of material nature and is immediately elevated to the spiritual platform. A Krishna conscious person begins from the transcendental stage and he is constantly in that consciousness. Therefore, there is no falling down and ultimately he enters into the abode of the Lord without delay. The practice of reduced eating is automatically done when one eats only Krishna Prasadam or food which is offered first to the Lord. Reducing the eating process is very helpful in the matter of this sense control. And without sense control, there is no possibility of getting out of the material entanglement. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Next. Sarvapyete yajnavido. Sarvapyete yajnavido yajnakshapita kalmashaha yajnashishtamrutabhujo yanti brahma sanatanam. Sarvapyete yajnavido. Sarvapyete yajnavido yajnashapita kalmashaha yajnakshapita kalmashaha yajnashishtashinas santo yajnashishtashinas yajnashishtamrutabhujo yajnashishtamrutabhujo yanti brahma sanatanam yanti brahma sanatanam. So sarva api ete yajnavidha, though it looks different types of yajna has been discussed. Na? Api means though it apparently means seems to be different. But yajnavidaha, the one who knows the purpose of performing yajna, he knows what is the purpose. Yajna shapitaha, to be cleansed of all the sins or being cleansed as a result of such performances. Because of such performances, he is cleansed. He is cleansed of what? Kalmasha, sinful reactions. Yajna shishtaha, that is a result of the yajna. Whatever yajna you take, the result is you are cleansed. Amrutaha bhujaha. In a small way, you are tasting the nectar. Like we had that World's Yoga Day. Many different types of people came, politicians came, they sat. The moment there was a silence after, when the Kumbhaka is there, there's a silence. Real feeling, yes, everybody wants that ultimate one piece. This is just a small drop of nectar which is tasted. Amritaha bhuja. Amrita bhuja. Yanti Brahma Sanatana. That is how, if they are really eager, they will forward towards the Supreme. So this is the purpose of all the yajnas. Whatever yajna you take, you are studying Vedas, okay? Because on Swadhyaya yajna we are studying Vedas. Then he is tasting that Amrita. And if he wants to progress, he'll try to search out what is the purpose of Vedas. Now take, for instance, purpose was giving his money, possessions. He went on. But can anybody become like Kuratalvar or Puresha? He gave everything. He was a jamindar of the whole land. But he gave up everything, took his wife and went to Ramanujacharya. On the way, he told, don't carry any valuables, just give everything. But still, his wife carried one silver bowl so the husband she can take water for him. And she was hiding like this because dacoits and all can come. He thought something is there. But what are you hiding? Nothing. No, show me. He took a world and threw it. So, by even sacrificing everything, person can advance. Because he has tasted. What he has tasted? That vairagya or virakti towards his karma phala. Karma phala gives asakti. When you go on giving, you feel virakti. You feel that fearlessness. Was you're given. What do you have to get fear? The more we have the holdings, accumulation, so that one amritaha. Oh, what a state of fearlessness. Because I have given up. immediately he starts thinking how to advance. To take anything, to take any one sacrifice, the purpose is to become free of all our sinful reactions, which is coming because of our karma phala, and to taste that one drop so that we can think of how to progress in spiritual life. Okay. Gita, please read. Gita is tasting
Hare
Amrita.
Hare Krishna. Sarve pete yajnavido yajnakshabida kalmasha yajnashishtamruda bhujo yanti brahma sanadanam.
1 second. Gautam, in between, you have to take the attendance, that how you mark. You know, no, who are all attending. That one thing screenshot you have to put so that Bindu can keep the attendance chart. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. All these performers who know the meaning of sacrifice become cleansed of sinful reactions, and having tasted the nectar of the results of sacrifices, they advance toward the supreme eternal atmosphere. Purport. From the foregoing explanation of different types of sacrifice, namely sacrifice of one's possessions, study of the Vedas or philosophical doctrines, and performance of the yoga system, it is found that the common aim of all is to control the senses. Sense gratification is the root cause of material existence. Therefore, unless and until one is situated on a platform apart from sense gratification, there is no chance of being elevated to the eternal platform of full knowledge, full bliss, and full life. This platform is in the eternal atmosphere or Brahman atmosphere. All the above mentioned sacrifices help one to become cleansed of the sinful reactions of material existence. By this advancement in life, not only does one become happy and opulent in this life, but also at the end, he enters into the eternal kingdom of God, either merging into the impersonal Brahman or associating with the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Evam bahuvida yajnam vitata brahmano mukhe karmajan vidditan sarvan evam gyatva vimokshase. Evam bahuvida yajnam vitata brahmano
Hare Krishna.
mukhe.
Hare Krishna. 31. Nayam loko.
Nayam
Logo.
Nayam lokostya yajnasya kutonyah purusattama. Nayam lokosya yajnasya. Nayam lokostya yajnasya kutonyah purusattama. Kutonya purusattama. So suppose somebody says, I don't want to do any sacrifice. Then very clearly it has been said, na ayam, in this loka, asti ayagyasya. Ayagyasya means one who is not interested in giving anything. Neither money, neither time, neither austerities, neither anything. Neither studies. Kutaha anyaha. Neither in this planet nor in this life, what then to speak of next? He can never be happy. Okay. Okay, we'll read. Aditya, read.
Very good. Translation. O best of the Kuru dynasty, without sacrifice, one can never live happily on this planet or in this life, what then of the next? Purport. Whatever form of material existence one is invariably ignorant of his real situation. In other words, Existence in the material world is due to the multiple reactions to our sinful life. Ignorance is the cause of sinful life, and sinful life is the cause of one's dragging on in material existence. The human form of life is the only loophole by which one may get out of this entanglement. The Vedas, therefore, give us a chance for escape by pointing the paths of religion, economic comfort, regulated sense gratification, and at last the means to get out of the miserable condition entirely. The path of religion or different kinds of sacrifice recommended above automatically solves our economic problems. By performances of yagna, we can have enough food, enough milk, etc., even if there is a so-called increase of population. When the body is fully supplied, naturally the next stage is to satisfy the senses. The Vedas prescribe, therefore, sacred marriage for regulated sense gratification. Thereby, one is gradually elevated to the platform of release from material bondage, and the highest perfection of liberated life is to associate with the Supreme Lord. Perfection is achieved by a performance of yagna, sacrifice, as described above. Now, if a person is not inclined to perform yagna according to the Vedas, how can he expect a happy life even in this body, and what to speak of another body or another planet? There are different grades of material comforts in different heavenly planets, and in all cases, there is immense happiness for persons engaged in different kinds of yagna. But the highest kind of happiness that a man can achieve is to be promoted to the spiritual planets by practice of Krishna consciousness. A life of Krishna consciousness is therefore the solution to all the problems of material existence. Hare Krishna.
एवं बहुविधा यज्ञा वितता ब्रह्मणो मुखे कर्मजान् विद्धितान् सर्वान् एवं ज्ञात्वा विमुक्षसे एवं बहुविधा यज्ञा वितता ब्रह्मणो मुखे कर्मजान् विद्धितान् सर्वान् एवं ज्ञात्वा विमुक्षसे एवं बहुविधा यज्ञा वितता ब्रह्मणो मुखे कर्मजान् विद्धितान् सर्वान् एवं ज्ञात्वा विमुक्षसे एवं बहुविधा यज्ञा. Varieties of sacrifices have been spoken here, different types. Vitataha brahmano mukhe. Vitata. These are all various sacrifices are spread, or you can say they are approved where in Brahmana, in the Vedas. Mukhe. Mukhe means mouth of Vedas, you can say Vedas. Karmajan vidhi, karmajan. And they are all born because of different types of work. When you sacrifice, you should have something to sacrifice. No? What you have, then how it comes? Because of activity. Activity gives you result. A result gives you the tendency to sacrifice. So they are all born because of different types of work. And then with him, Tan Sarvan Evam Gyatva Vimokshase. Just by knowing this, you will be liberated. So what you are knowing? That whatever you have, I have the tendency to do austerities, no problem. I can do austerities. That means I know my strength in different ways. Then I know it to give it. Give it. So when I learn to give it, naturally I'll start becoming liberated. Like you have the morning hours, lot of mala in your stomach. What do? You pass. You become liberated. Anything you possess is actually mala. It can be stool. It can be your karma phala. All this is mala only. The moment you give it up, you become liberated. But then where to give is also important. You cannot just go and give it to a drunkard. Ek rupaya de de Baba Vijay, he is going and drinking them. His karma phala also you will get. You should know where to give also. Pushpa. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Evam बहुविधा यज्ञ वित्तता ब्राह्मणो मुखे
Brahmano.
कर्मज्ञ हाँ?
Brahmano, not Brahmano. Brahmano.
ब्रह्मणो मुखे कर्मजन् विद्धि तान् सर्वान् एवं
Karmajan. Karmajan. Ja.
कर्मजान्
Ha.
विद्धि तान् सर्वान्
Tan.
एवं
Ha.
न्यत्मा विमोक्ष्यसे
Gyatva.
ज्ञात्वा एवं ज्ञात्वा विमोक्ष्यसे. All these different types of sacrifice are approved by the Vedas, and all of them are born of different types of work. Knowing them as such, you will become liberated. Different types of sacrifice, as discussed above, are mentioned in the Vedas to suit the different types of worker. Because men are so deeply absorbed in the bodily concept, these sacrifices are so arranged that one can work either with the body, with the mind, or with the intelligence. But all of them are recommended for ultimately bringing about liberation from the body. This is confirmed by the Lord herewith from his own mouth. Hare Krishna.
Shreyan Dravyamaya Yajna. Jnanekya Parantapa. Sarva Karmakhilam Partha. Jnani Parisamapyate. Shreyan Dravya Maya Yajna. Jnana Yajna Parantapa. Shreyan Dravya Maya Yajna. Mayad Yajnat. Mayad Yajna. Jnana Yajna Parantapa. Sarva Karma Khilam Partha. Jnani Parisamapyate. Shreyana, comparison is going on. More than giving material possession, sacrifice in knowledge is better, isn't it? Just giving, चलो आदमी की तरफ से इतना ध्यान दान. Sacrifice should be performed in knowledge, that is more superior than just giving some material possession. There are so many people who give dan. What is the use? Some small amrita will be tasted, but ultimately anything which is performed in knowledge, what is that knowledge? What's the meaning of knowledge? Somebody asks you, what will say? Understanding the difference between body, soul, God, and then utilizing the body, soul in Lord's purpose. That is knowledge. So sacrifice in knowledge. I'm not just giving. I am giving for Lord's purpose. I am giving to feed Vaishnavas. That is in knowledge. I'm not just giving. Okay. Then Sarva Karma Kilam Partha. Whatever you're doing, whatever activities, and then you are sacrificing, it should culminate in knowledge. That means one should become surrendered to Guru, Krishna, Vaishnavas. Hari Guru Vaishnava. Hari Guru Vaishnava. Then that sacrifice has a purpose. And we have many life members. They'll go once in a year, they'll give something. But then it should culminate in knowledge. Yes, giving for Lord, everything. But then ultimately, one has to come to the platform of knowledge. That means take up the process of spiritualism seriously. And for that, taking shelter of Guru is very important. Without Vaishnava Guru, impossible. और every year same check. जन्माष्टमी आ गया, कितना देना है? चलती के 1 लाख. It will go on, go on. Some Sukruti will be there. No, 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 no. But what is the purpose? Krishna says, Sarva Akilam Parth Jnane Parisamapyate. It should end in knowledge. If that knowledge is not there, next year a person goes, क्या है बार बार इस्कॉन वालों को काम धाम नहीं, जब देखो मांगते रहते हैं. What happened? Pride of giving came. Knowledge of not understanding where it is given. That is why, even though after giving also, they'll do gali garuch to Vaishnavas, to Krishna. Now to Krishna, they'll have fear. But to the process, to ISKCON, they'll speak ill about. So whole year ill about, then some okay, दे देते हैं भाई, दे देंगे कुछ तो प्राप्ति मिल जाता है. Like majburi they'll give. So it is very much important. It should end in knowledge. And how that knowledge will be attained, 34th verse speaks about it. Shilpa, read.
Which Shilpa? Should I read or?
No, this Shilpa, Balaji Shilpa.
Hare Krishna. 4.33. Shreyan dravyamaya yagnat jnana yagna parantapa sarvam karma khilam partha jnane parisamapyate. O chastiser of the enemy, the sacrifice performed in knowledge is better than the mere sacrifice of material possessions. After all, O son of Pritha, all sacrifices of work culminate in transcendental knowledge. The purpose of all sacrifices is to arrive at the status of complete knowledge, then to gain release from material miseries, and ultimately to engage in loving transcendental service to the Supreme Lord, Krishna consciousness, that is. Nonetheless, there is mystery about all these different activities of sacrifice, and one should know this mystery. Sacrifices sometimes take different forms according to the particular faith of the performer. When one's faith reaches the stage of transcendental knowledge, the performer of sacrifices should be considered more advanced than those who simply sacrifice material possessions without such knowledge. For without attainment of knowledge, sacrifices remain on the material platform and bestow no spiritual benefit.
Just see. If there is no knowledge, you may say it has been given to ISKCON. Knowledge is not there. It is just another material activity.
Real knowledge culminates in Krishna consciousness, the highest stage of transcendental knowledge. Without the elevation of knowledge, sacrifices are simply material activities. When, however, they are elevated to the level of transcendental knowledge, all such activities enter onto the spiritual platform. Depending on differences in consciousness, sacrificial activities are sometimes called karma kanda, fruitive activities, and sometimes jnana kanda, knowledge in the pursuit of truth. It is better when the end is knowledge. Hare Krishna.
Still, why the devotees try out with those people who are not interested in knowledge? Just to some small sukruti. Because in 12th chapter it's going to come. If you're not able to give your man, give your tan, man, dhan. By doing that, maybe in this lifetime or next lifetime, which lifetime, some sukruti a person gets. Now, how to get knowledge? Process of surrender. Process of surrender means approaching the spiritual master, inquiring, serving. We have done this in 2.7, if you remember. Open 2.7 notes. Karpanya dosho pahtasvabhava uchchamitvam dharma sammooda cheta yashreyasya tishtitam bruhitanme शिष्यस्तेहं शादि मां त्वां प्रपन्नम्. The Adau Guru Padash Diksha Shikshadi Grahanam Sadharma Prucha Sevaya, then Guru Marganu Gamanam. So what we have done is we have just made it into 3 now instead of 5. Approaching the spiritual master, inquiring, serving. So now here, Tadvidhi Pranipatena Pariprashnena Sevaya Padakshanti Te Jnanam Jnaninas Tattvadarshinaha Tadvidhi Pranipatena Pariprashnena Sevaya Padakshanti Te Jnanam Jnaninas Tattvadarshinaha Tadvidhi, know. What to know, what we should do, Pranipatena, approach. Approach here means surrender. Adav Guru Padashriya, take the shelter of a spiritual master. Approach here doesn't mean that you just go and just sit before, no. Approach means taking shelter. Pranipatena, fun we can, then what? Pariprashnena, inquire unto the absolute truth. Pariprashnena, then serve. Sometimes it is said, after you serve only, you get the qualification to inquire also. It can be other way around also. Why you are going to the spiritual master? Upadyakshanti te jnanam. Upadyakshanti. They will give you the knowledge. Jnaninas tattvadarshina. Because they have seen the truth. They are tattvadarshi. They have seen the truth. Okay. That is why you approach your spiritual master. And what is the truth they have seen? The truth is, one is in every circumstance servant of Krishna. That is the truth. Mayur Prabhu, read 34th verse.
Hare Krishna. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadikṣanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Meaning, just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. What? The path of spiritual realization is undoubtedly difficult. The Lord therefore advises us to approach a bona fide spiritual master in the line of disciplic succession from the Lord himself. No one can be a bona fide spiritual master without following this principle of disciplic succession. The Lord is the original spiritual master, and a person in the disciplic succession can convey the message of the Lord as it is to his disciple. No one can be spiritually realized by manufacturing his own process, as in the fashion of the foolish pretenders. The Bhagavatam says, Dharmastu Sakshat Bhagavad Pranitam. The path of religion is directly initiated by the Lord. Therefore, mental speculation or dry arguments cannot help lead one to the right path. Nor by independent study of books of knowledge can one progress in spiritual life. One has to approach a bona fide spiritual master to receive the knowledge. Such a spiritual master should be accepted in full surrender, and one should serve the spiritual master like a menial servant without false prestige. Satisfaction of the self-realized spiritual master is the secret of advancement in spiritual life. Inquiries and submission constitute the proper combination of for spiritual understanding. Unless there is submission and service, inquiries from the learned spiritual master will not be effective. One must be able to pass the test of the spiritual master, and when he sees the genuine desire of the disciple, he automatically blesses the disciple with genuine spiritual understanding. In this verse, both blind following and absurd inquiries are condemned. Not only should one hear submissively from the spiritual master, but one must also get a clear understanding from him in submission and service and inquiries. A bona fide spiritual master is by nature very kind toward the disciple. Therefore, when the student is submissive and is always ready to render service, the reciprocation of knowledge and inquiries become perfect.
Yes. So service and attaining the knowledge, inquiry, everything is related to each other. The service is good, the inquiry becomes perfect. The reception also becomes perfect. Okay, we'll stop here. Any questions you can ask. No questions?
How can one get a spiritual master? Or how to identify that if someone is in a line of
Guru are
succession?
at 4 levels. Guru are at 4 levels. 4 types of Guru are there. Chaitya Guru, one who is situated in your heart, Paramatma. Patapradaksha Guru, who showed you the path. Like that can be your handbill also. That can be your watchman also. That can be your friend also. Shiksha Guru, who is teaching you. In the olden days, Diksha, Shiksha were one only. There's nothing like Diksha. Diksha, Shiksha, one Guru. Because now it is Diksha Guru used to be the Shiksha Guru only. Because Diksha Guru cannot reach to each and every one, Diksha Guru functions through Shiksha Guru. So your Shiksha Guru is none other than representative of Diksha. Guru means one who is giving you knowledge. Spiritual master, one who is giving you knowledge. One who gives knowledge is functioning through the Diksha Guru. In olden days, Diksha Guru only used to be Shiksha Guru because Gurukul system used to be there. There used to be Guru who used to initiate, who used to teach. Now Diksha Guru cannot reach to each and every disciple. So he gives knowledge through his disciples. That is how Diksha Guru is functioning through Shiksha Guru. Or Shiksha Guru are the hands and the legs of Diksha. It is not Guru is some and you go and identify. Again, another one. How many Shiksha Guru a person can have and how many Diksha Guru a person should have? A person can have many Shiksha Gurus, but one Diksha Guru. Again, in real sense, one Shiksha Guru only to beat you, to correct you. Information can be taken from many Shiksha Guru, but you allow somebody to correct you. That can be only one Shiksha Guru. You cannot allow everyone to correct you, or you cannot open your pages before everyone. You cannot tell all your things to everyone. So one Shiksha Guru, in real sense, for information, many Shiksha Guru. The Shiksha Guru should have the right to tell you rascal. Allow that. Then he is Shiksha Guru. Information, studies, many Shiksha Guru. We are doing Bhakti Shastri here. We can do somewhere. We are studying some other course. Many Shiksha Gurus. In real sense, one Shiksha Guru can tell you, hey, you rascal, I'll catch your ears. If you're not functioning properly, I'll beat yours. That means what? You're allowing, you are making the Shiksha Guru your mother, allowing that mother to correct you. That you cannot tell to every information gurus, you can beat me, you will not do that. We are not so humble. Even to tell one person also, it's a big thing. So in the Gurukul system, Diksha Guru used to be Shiksha Guru. Diksha Guru had all the rights to even punish the students. Now, one Diksha Guru, many Shiksha Gurus. In one real sense, Shiksha Guru, the Shiksha means giving punishment. Okay.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, nice.
Mataji, you said no. What is Chaitanya Guru? I missed that point.
Chaitya Guru. Chaitya means one who
Chaitya.
tells you from inside. Who is that Paramatma? Chori mat kar bhai. Somebody tells, na? That is Paramatma. Chaitya Guru. Patha Pradaksha Guru. Shiksha Guru. Diksha Guru. Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Anything else? This topic. Manchakal Pitaro Vishnu class in the Vaishnavi Vaishnavi Vaishnavi
Hare Krishna.